Hey, backward here. It's been a while since I've talked about my game. I want to keep this intro short, but I really want to thank everybody for the amazing support on my second devlog. So far, it has 35,000 views, and my game has reached 10,000 visits, and I'm just so thankful for all the support. I didn't think I would get this far, honestly, but yeah, big updates are to come, but right now I'm just going to be covering what I've added so far. The first addition I want to talk about is the new object picking up and rotation system. I did make a short video covering the rotation system, but I feel like a lot of people didn't see that, so I'm still going to cover it in here. You can pick up objects and move them around. I wanted to keep it at least somewhat different from 3008, which is, a huge inspiration for this game, but I just experimented and tried to make my own system, so the objects don't clip through anything. You can drag them around and they can get stuck in doorways and stuff. I think it's kind of cool or neat because you kind of have to use your brain to get it through things. Another big addition with this is object anchoring. If you push an object up against the surface, the outline will turn blue, and if you let go, then it will anchor it. This was added just a little bit after the rotation system, but obviously it was a really needed addition. You kind of can't build if you can't anchor things. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the pickup system. But another thing I wanted to detail about objects is that now they can create fractals. Objects can repeat and scale and move the same way multiple times, creating that. I mean, I've only been using the word fractal, but I don't know if there's a better name for it. You see it everywhere in the movie and media, so I just feel like it was really needed in my game. The last thing I want to talk about with objects is that there are a lot more special objects for specific areas now. I can't really name any off the top of my head, but hopefully I'm showing them on screen right now. Yeah, that's it for objects. I want to move over to talk about the new chat system I added. It's pretty much the exact same as Roblox's, except a little dumbed down because I have to add a lot of the features like emojis and commands, but I wanted to create a UI style that was more similar to, I guess, 90s to 2000s, which is when the Backrooms takes place. So I tried going for more box. I used a monospaced font, but it doesn't really get the 90s vibe across because it's dark mode, and nobody really used dark mode back then, but I still think it's unique and it gives the game a style, which is the reason why I updated it. I also have a creator tag, so anyone who sees me in game knows I'm the creator. Felt like a lot of people before didn't even realize that I was the creator, or just thought I was a dev, even though it's a solo project. Anyways, the complex style now has 3 different wallpapers that it can choose from. There are flowers, dots, and obviously the chevron wallpaper. In the original Backrooms image, there's multiple different kinds of wallpaper, and somebody suggested it in my Discord and gave me a couple textures for it, so I modified the colors and put them in my game. It's a little hard to notice, but I think it adds some variety to the same yellow wallpaper everywhere. The next big thing I wanted to talk about is there are 3 new styles and 1 new badge in my game. The first style that I want to bring up is library, or the end. It doesn't really look like the end right now, but it's based off the wiki level. Hold on. I know I said I wasn't going to add anything from the wiki into my game, but I'm just taking my favorite parts from any parts of the internet at this point. There's still not going to be any party goers or smilers or anything of that wiki, but some of the levels they have on there are genuinely pretty interesting, as well as the end showing up kind of in the Backrooms movie. Anyways, this style or biome level, whatever, I still haven't had a name for them, but this design has very tall ceilings, lots of pillars, and a special blue striped carpet. The furniture for this level is mainly just boxes and paint cans. Maybe you'll be able to open them at some point, but do not count on it because that is a lot of work for such a small thing. The next one I want to talk about is the warehouse, which was highly inspired by, I don't really know what to call them. They're just huge metal shelves in 3008. They have a lot of pallets and wooden boards and stuff. And I think pallets are just great for building because they're pretty much just walls. So I added them to my game. They obviously come with pallets, but they also come with boxes, and they come with these huge shelves that cannot be moved. I don't really like how they spawn so much in the ground, so they'll probably be changed a little bit, but that is not my main concern right now because I have a lot of other updates planned. It seems like a lot of people in my community server enjoy the pallets too, because a lot of the builds I see consist of mostly pallets, which is the reason I added them. So I'm glad to see that their purpose is being fulfilled. I don't know why I started like that. Anyways, there is one more style, whatever, that I want to talk about, and it's the art gallery. The art gallery isn't based off anything specific from Kane or the wiki. It was just something I thought would be a good addition. Same with the warehouse, but this one especially. It kind of looks like the empty gallery from, I don't know in specific, but some fan media, but that was not my intent. I mainly added this because I wanted a way for players to have more decoration in their bases. In this case, just pictures of art The art that I used comes from Christopher Zetterstrand, which is the same artist used for a lot of paintings in Minecraft, if not all of them. I purposely tried to not pick the ones used in Minecraft so they're not so recognizable, but I really love his style of specifically like mountains and stuff that look like they're in video games where you're kind of looking into the side of it. It's hard to describe, but I'm probably showing pictures on the screen. I'm recording this voiceover before I do any of the visuals, so I have no clue what it's going to look like. But I don't really plan on adding my own art or anyone else's art because I really love his style specifically. But yeah, I just think it's a nice addition for players to be able to use art, although it's kind of rare, so usually you won't be able to find this in servers. But if you do, then, you know, you got paintings now, so that's pretty nice. Last thing about styles that I wanted to cover is finding the red rooms now gives you a badge. So if you've been looking for something to do in my game, you haven't gotten that badge yet, I'm just throwing out ideas, okay? This badge, however, is only obtainable in public servers. In the future, I plan to add things like free cam and maybe no clipping, like flying around, not like null zones, no clipping. But I plan to add ways to just explore the map anywhere in private servers, and having a badge that includes looking for something kind of ruins the point when you can just fly around. And since those features will not be in public servers, that's why I have it so you can only get the badge in public servers. Not much else to say about that badge, but I want to take a quick moment to talk about a feature that I added that lets you support me directly. In my game, I've added a donation panel. If you want to support me, please donate. Anything helps. I really want to get this game big, and having money for advertisements will really help. Enough on that. Next feature. I've added new optimizations for lights. My first attempt at adding optimization for the lights was to just have them not have shadows at random, but sometimes there'd just be big patches of no shadow and it would just look really weird. So what I ended up doing, which is in the game now, is just having lights only have shadows if they're within a certain range. I don't know how much this actually affected performance at all, but I know it did improve it, at least a little bit. Also, you can barely tell a difference because the range is so far away. Not so big that every light in the map is enabled though. I've been experiencing less frame drops and it's just been, I feel a little better. I don't know if that's placebo, but yeah. I really don't know how to keep this video flowing. I'm just going to go to the next thing now. There's now full support for mobile. I've added full buttons, UI. I do still need to add crouching, which I probably will do today. Kind of forgot about it until right now. But everything else you can do on computer, you can mostly do on your phone now. You can rotate objects, you can sprint, use your flashlight, you can use chat, which you could already do. Hopefully console and VR support will be coming next. On to the next thing, because I can't paste this video. I finally updated still lives. I mean, some of these updates have been around for a while, but that video was uploaded a little bit ago, so I feel like a lot of people who haven't actually played my game yet, or enough to see a couple still lives, won't know about these. But still lives can actually copy your avatar, anyone else in the game's avatar, and anyone in the game's friend's avatar. Sometimes it just makes random people, which I do plan to add like more clothing and stuff for. The thing with this is that even if you leave the game, your friends will still spawn forever. If you rejoin, it won't have like double chance of your friends though. It always checks if it already has a player cached. Another thing I want to talk about with still lives is that now they can have mutated limbs, which a lot of you guys have been requesting, and I spent a lot of time making sure it works mostly properly. Now at random they can have duplicated arms, legs, body, whatever. I think it really adds to the still life feel, and I hope to add a lot more to still lives in the future. Just like everything. Everything in this game I want to be bigger and better, but that all comes with time. On to the last couple things. Crouching has finally been added. Now for right now, you don't go down too low, but you do go low enough that places that used to get you stuck should not get you stuck anymore. I do hope to change the animation for this to be a bit lower, but it works for right now, so I don't see myself changing it anytime soon. On to the final big update that I want to talk about. Well, I got one little one and one big one, but the first little one is faster loading times. It should be near instant now, and it should almost never completely stop. Before, sometimes it would stall and you'd have to rejoin, but hopefully now it shouldn't do that anymore. That was the small one, but on to the big one. Hopefully, soon, my game will be out for everyone 9+. This is outdated information. It's actually already out for everybody by the time I got to this point of the video. Yeah, if you've been wanting to play this, please check it out. It's actually kind of popping off again. I don't know what else to put in this part. I gotta kind of pad it a bit to go over the original length, but whatever. I hope to see you guys in game and in the Discord and whatever. Thank you so much for all the support. I could not have done it without you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much everything new that's been added since devlog number 2. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or anything, please let me know down in the comments below. That's all I have for you guys, and yeah, See ya! Okay, this is an extra part of the video that will be removed once it happens, but on Friday, August 14th at 5:09 p.m., I will be doing a Q&A